Hi friends, we just celebrated Mother's Day, and for a lot of folks that's really kind of a special day, a hard day. There's a lot of different emotions that are tied up with Mother's Day. And I received this amazing gift from my son. He handmade this cedar sign where he carefully carved out the words, "Best Mom Ever." And I love it. It's got these LED lights that can flash and strobe and change colors and all these different things behind the cutouts where he wrote these words, or where he carved out these words, "Best Mom Ever." But I struggle to see myself as the best mom ever. And I know from talking to a lot of other ladies, especially over the last few weeks, there are women who are struggling right now with handling mom guilt. And mom guilt is one of those things that we saddle ourselves in, and the enemy just comes right in and helps us to do it to ourselves. We all struggle because we are fallen people who live in a fallen world, and we love these little humans that God has given us so much, and we want to do such a good job raising them, but we mess up, we screw up, we don't always get it right, and the guilt can add up, and it makes it very difficult for us to see ourselves as our children see us, as our spouses see us, as God sees us. And the truth is that we don't always get it right. And so how do you handle when you mess up as a mom? Well, let me walk you through the process. And I'm still learning this process myself. Number one, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to admit that we mess up. First of all, we have to admit it to ourselves. We can't deal with it at all if we don't admit ourselves that we mess up. We admit to ourselves that we mess up. And then we admit it to God. We say, God, I blew it. I overreacted to that. I responded in a way that was not pleasing to you. And then you need to go to your kids and apologize. Ask for forgiveness. Show them how to handle when you mess up. In 1 Corinthians, it says, "But if we were more discerning with regards to ourselves, we would not come under such judgment." And this is judgment both from ourselves and from other people. That parent-child relationship is a very difficult one to navigate. Okay, so you admit you mess up and you make it right. Number two, you evaluate your self-expectations. Are what you're expecting of yourself as a mother, is it a realistic expectation? Do you put too much on yourself? If you set the bar too high for yourself, you open yourself up to self-condemnation, and you find yourself under this burden of condemnation that you place on yourself, and the enemy will come right in there in that open door and will join right along in the condemnation party. If you set the bar too low for yourself, you will find yourself justifying your bad behavior. And you will very often develop a victim mentality. Oh my gosh, well, I have these horrible children and nobody ever does what they're supposed to do, and blah, 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 blah. And we turn that guilt outward and we attack our children and our family. So, number one, we admit that we mess up, we evaluate our self-expectations and make sure that they are realistic and that we're looking at ourselves honestly. And number three, and this is the most important thing, work on your relationship with your Heavenly Father. He will give you wisdom. He says in James 1 that if you need wisdom, ask. He will give you wisdom, and He will teach you how to parent. And He is the ultimate parenting expert. He knows you. He knows your kids. He created both of you, all of you, and He knew that you were going to be your children's mother, and He knew that you were going to have the children that you have. So he is the one that can give you the wisdom that you need to navigate through this parenting thing and help you navigate through handling this thing called mom guilt. Blessings, friend, and may you walk free of guilt and condemnation and self-justification today.